And welcome back. Tuesday morning, 10:45. Sales video. All right, stop the music. Stop it. Thank you. Couple things to go over. Side of the sales. So yesterday I did the went in and I looked at 225 listings, disc media wise or media wise. I kept the books listed, and the only things that I took down was disc media. So I went in, I clicked the view counter, and if the view counter had, so I did a little different than I usually do. The view counter had total, so you click it and you see the total over the span of time that you can go through. If it had like 5 views or more, regardless how long it was up for, most of everything was been up for like 7-8 months. That stayed listed. Anything that was 0, 1, 2, or 3 stayed clicked and came down. So I had all of them that were all there, and so 134. Although I said 225 is because some books and some other stuff was in there as well. So just the disc media's 130 something came down, in 119 every single one of them actually I copy pasted the artist and the title or just a little bit of information that I need to, went into the listings, and here's another sale, went into the listings, and here comes my noisemaker, and saw if there was anything that was feasible selling within the past 90 days. If there wasn't, when Terapeak kind of got an idea on where I should probably drop it down to. So a lot of some things that were listed at what would have been about $50 came down to 25. Some things that were listed at $30 stayed at $30, and it just needs to be refreshed. It does sell for that, except for mine just never sold. So there's a lot of little executive decisions. It is a lot of brain tiring because you're constantly looking at the screen, seeing the same stuff, just the same pages. You're looking at it, so it becomes a little brain and eye tiring. That's probably in part why it's 10:45 when I'm making this, and I slept until like almost 10 o'clock. So I apparently turned both the alarms off. So ultimately, of that, this stack right here is stuff that came down. So it was 12 or 13 listings, and there's a couple in here that there's multiples of something. So of that, it's about 10%. So that really wasn't too bad in regards to taking stuff down and calling. And most of all this stuff, everything like the date stamps, and I didn't check every single one of them, but the date stamps were pushing a year or well over a year. So in the way on how I determined was just typing this in, playing the fancy soundtrack. Have any sold recently? No. Are there any listed? Yeah, well, there's one listed for $14. Going to Terapeak. Has anything sold in 3 years? No. I'm not going to just keep something like this just so it might sell. Something like this, some of them are listed high, but this exact one just does not sell. So it would make no sense at all for me to just keep a hold of this and for sales wise over 3 years, for just kind of wait to see if it finally actually ever does. And then it just adds another item in when I'm doing either the calling or it got 3 views and I can take it, or 3 or 4 views over 3 months and I can take it down and reprice it. I could end up with this for years because it just constantly gets repriced and no one wants it. All right. So this is small stack of those things. So we have a Bill Gaither or Gaither Brothers or whatever, Gaither family, Road to Happiness something, another religious something, Into the Abyss, that's sealed. Religious, surprisingly, Dreamcatcher, it does sell, but it sells like $7. I'm not keeping it for that. Another sealed something, religious something, Unwed Father with Brian Austin Green from 90210. Crown Heights, Showtime something, some health thing, some other religious something, and then just these. So not too bad on those. It's religious. I have a whole box of, I don't know how many I even have, like a 70 something disc religious DVD set that you'd think would have gone by now. And then if that doesn't go by the turn of the year, then I'll be doing a lot of shifting and moving stuff around, just donating stuff. And let's get into the primary of this, which is a sales video. I think I went too long on that one. All right, so I saw that sale come in. Barnes Courtney, The Attractions of Youth, C34. So it is open. So again, is all I'll do. I'll just eyeball down here and try to find Barnes Courtney. Oh, that's an interesting graphic. All right. So the total now is back over 200. If the cancellation went through and if it wasn't showing, it still would have been pretty close. Yeah, it would have been just at 200, so that would have been video-wise. I want to talk about that. The relistings that I did, so that was all done. Everything got put back on sale, and there is at least one in here that I relisted yesterday that's already sold. And the price that it came down was only like $5. So that is kind of an importance in why I do. So how I would usually do this is there would be a larger sale end of June going to July 4th weekend, which would typically run 5-6 days. And then one from the 26th of December, so right after Christmas, all the way up to maybe like the 3rd or 4th of January. So that one runs a little longer, about a week and a half. And sometimes, but mostly it would be after that sale. So the beginning of February, no sale. Beginning of March, there would, or the end of February into March, I would have one. So it varies on when I would do that, and I would do just a micro calling like this, where I'm looking at things like that. And even if I kept some of these things listed, the odds of one selling and me making netting $4 or $5, that's probably what it would be. If I kept all this stuff up, one might sell. So I'm not worried about that. And especially if a lot of the stuff that was up for a while, if it just never sold within that time frame that it was already there, and even if the pricing was relatively close to where it should be, it just never sold it. It never got enough views. And most of these things, there's only 2 or 3 others listed. So if there's only 5 listings and somebody's looking it up, they have 5 that they can look at. And people aren't looking at these specific titles, so some of the prices were too high, but if they sell, they're for $7. I'm not doing that. All right, let's get into what actually sold. All right, so we have, here it comes, these poultry shears. All right, 28. And let's move these over here. Hey, Bruce. Next in line, Ray Conniff CD, 19. Masterpieces from Dickens, 18. So this is one I got down in North Canton with all the DVDs. And all that stuff is already listed. I have, some of these DVDs that I just had, a couple of those I'll put in after I take it up to the exchange and see what they want. And then I've got probably about 30 or 40 other disc media that need to go in a box and go up there as well. That's a whole different day. All right, another pair of these safety glasses, 25. So I think I bought like 5 pair of these at Savers. And they're all, I would consider near mint. Not brand new, but darn near. Big night. This is one that I did list yesterday. I went in and looked to see what they were selling for and brought it in at an appropriate price and sold for 23 bucks. So two sets of two of the Oneida Chateau serving spoons that I still have a whole bunch of. So two of those sets of two sold for 28 bucks. Structures book. I can't see. There we go. Structures from 1956. It's $21, and I'm not going to go. Where are the pictures at? If you're going to call it structures, so that looks like a raceway. Strangely, I think just by knowing some of the different channels that I watch about some of the catastrophes, I think that this was the stadium that had, like, there was a fire right here and all that heat got up on this roof and the roof completely collapsed. If I remember that correct. That may not be that stadium. It probably isn't, because that looks like a Florence Stadium. That may not be the one, but there are a lot of those catastrophes and bridges and things like that. So 21, whatever it was. Yep, 21. Voltron, the different version of of Transformers. GoBots is a different version of Transformers. And then there was that, and was it Megatron? No, there was a whole other one. Bandai, I don't remember. But this is a X Library 4-disc set, 15 bucks. Alea, age ain't nothing but a number. Cassette, 16. I'm going to show this in here. It's cassette. The ribbon, the tape, clean sponge, clean tape. Because as soon as someone ordered it, they paid for it, then they message, does this tape work correctly? Yeah. It's clean. I don't see any mildew or debris. It advances. Yeah. Of course, feedback of like 10 or whatever they have. 9. So I think, and this is going to be a little tangential on this, but I think that eBay needs to do you are going to be forced to watch a 3-minute video as a brand new buyer. And some of those things are going to include, you can't leave negative feedback because you don't understand the policies. And don't harass well-established, top-rated sellers with stupid questions. Oh, is this brand new? This is just an example. Oh, is this brand new thing sealed brand new? Or are you just saying that it's new? And if you look at it, there's like, you can see that it's completely wrapped in cellophane. It's like just those stupid things. So do I get like hydrogen with the oxygen that you're going to send me, or just stupid things? Is that dirt? Is it from a rock? I want to know if that piece of dirt is from a rock. Just the examples can go on. You know what? Matter of fact, I want to encourage anyone listening, write down in the comments any sort of really, really stupid question or stupid, just, there's being thorough, and then there's being not astute. Someone saying, I'm getting 4 DVDs with that, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 in all of the pictures. There's 4 in the title. Yeah. Are you sure the title of that book is called Structures? Just Write in the comments on what some stupid, even if you make it up right now, I don't, still. All right. Oh, all right. And the CD 14. So we are at 216 in sales, 207 product cost received. So a little slower, but it's still 200 going out. 200 of sales product costs going out. As for today, there's so I got all of the listings done yesterday. Everything is on sale. All that stuff is all done, and it is a little brain tiring, like I said. I'll probably just end up doing some relistings and some shuffling stuff around and start doing some preemptive pulling of some of the other things, non-media stuff that does need to come down. So that one is going to be a not really a majorly different beast in doing things, but it's going to be different in part because there's a few categories that I do want to accumulate things in order to put a lot out, to make a lot of something. Arts and crafts and sewing is one. So I have like some health and beauty things, not many. A electronics slot, which I don't have a lot of electronics that would I would want to actually like pull and be completely gone. Most of the other things that I have, well, I got to get those car speakers listed. I got well over a month ago. I have to get this Kodak Ectosound Movie Deck 285, get that actually pictured. I mean, I paid $60 for it, and it's just sitting there. That's what I'll do with some of this stuff. And then I'll have like 5 things, and each thing is worth $200-300, and then I'll just sit down one day and just get all that listed. And then there's $2,000 of stuff listed for that given day. Rigby. Yeah, Rigby. You mad at the kitty you're looking at? He got caught in the rain. Why are you mad at me? You're the one who was out there. Rigby. What? So I want to make lots of some of that stuff so I can get rid of it. Now I will do the same thing. It's just not going to be, oh, that's a whole bunch. That's all sewing patterns. Take it all down. I will still go in there and look at the view counter, especially with some sewing patterns. Let's just say, because I can still make money on it. If they're going to be $15 or more, and let's just say they've been listed for 6 months, if they've got 5-6 views or more, they will stay up, and they may even just get relisted. Just do stuff similar on them. So that is some in part today. And I want to make sure what I take down and what I currently have, I can still maintain right at that 3,000 listings mark. And then after the turn of the year, well, that's quite a few months from now, so I'll be well over 300 consistent or 3,000 consistently. All right, so there are quite a bit of little different things in this video. It feels a little like spatially off a bit because I started it a little later. But if you, that's one of the, that's a benefit in apparel of doing this full time. Is the benefit is at any given time, if you want to just skip your alarms. Now, Saturdays and Sundays, I don't have alarms, but I'm still up about 8:30 regardless. If you do want to, if you do sleep past the time that you usually get up at any other given time, and it's quite a bit past, like almost an hour and a half past, that's kind of a peril because it puts everything a little farther back. Now, granted, today I wasn't really going to be doing a whole lot of driving far, especially it's obviously raining, and it's going to rain until like 7. So if I were to go anywhere, it would be a local, but I still have stuff to do here. And when I get a little more structured, then I will be able to accommodate. I'm just getting, my brain is going too far ahead right now for things that really don't apply to you guys or how it would help you. for me to be more structured here doesn't help you guys who are listening. All right. So enough rambling and ranting. And oh, there we go. I'm going to wrap that one up. So, like what you heard, like what you saw, like what you learned. The big thing is, if you have stuff that's been listed for a long time, whatever the specific, whatever the metric is, whatever it is that you want to do in order to kind of do some of the things that I do in regards to these have been listed for a very, very long time. It's time for them to actually come down and do stuff similar. However you want to do that, I would strongly recommend going through some older listings and doing that, looking at whatever words you have, narrow some of the words down and just use specific ones. Look in current sold, look in Terra Peak, however you want to gauge the price, but do a bunch of sell similars on items. And you'd be surprised what will happen within the next couple of days or a week from those specific items. So just keeping it listed. Oh, I've had it listed for 7 years. It's never, well, you've never really brought it back out. You know, that's like looking at something that's way far away and we're like, oh, see, you can see it. I don't know what it is. Now, granted, people can just type things up, but if you're selling in a heavy market or a saturated market, as a meaning someone has a pair of Levi jeans, type in Levi jeans. Well, I've had these Levi 501s listed for 3 years and no one's looking at them. You need to be a little more specific. Clothing I don't deal with. If I have to add a whole bunch of words and specifics to stuff, that's just more work for me, for something that's just already... It reminds me of something that the Ghoul, Cooper says, Howard Cooper says in Fallout, the series. When Lucy shoots him with a dart, I don't know exactly what concoction was in that dart that Lucy shot at the Ghoul. It shoots him and he looks at it and he pulls it out. He goes, that's just a drop in a big old bucket of drugs. In saturated markets, you're just a small drop of things. That's why I do physical media, especially more unique one-off. There's rare times that I have listings and I'm competing with any more than 20 other listings. Few times. Most of the time is my listings, what I sell, there might be 10 others. Might. For the most part, it's going to be 10 and under. The competition that I have for the exact item that I have. That's why I do physical media, amongst a myriad of other reasons. I'm going off again, so thumb your finger going up, comment down below, subscribe, share. Those all help me, help you, so we can all help each other and other people learn about selling physical media on eBay. Appreciate it. Thank you.